Welcome to another episode of my Kuta Legian Seminyak series. Today I'm back in Kuta again because when I was here last time I actually rode my motorbike up Poppies 1 and realised that it looks completely different to what I remember it. So today I'm going to head down Poppies 1 and then loop back around down to Kuta Square and then down towards the Tuban area to have a look around there as well. So let's get stuck in. As you enter Poppies 1 from the beach end of Poppies 1, it looks pretty similar to what it always used to look. Well, not always, but you know, for at least the past 25 years. And one of the things about Poppies 1, it was the original sort of, you know, budget place that you'd come and stay. Even back in the early 2000s, people would come down here and stay in Poppies 1 in guest houses. There'd be lots of little warrels and little restaurants down here that people loved. And it was always sort of the centre of tourist activity here in Kuta. Kuta, yeah. What's your name?
Geng.
What is it?
Geng.
My name's Adam. How are you going? Are you from Kuta?
No.
Where are you from?
Jawa.
Jawa mana?
Madura.
Madura. Udah lama di sini?
Yes.
Berapa lama?
25.
25 years?
Yes.
Woo, lama sekali. Yeah, okay, money. 25 years, long time to be here. One of the things that you'll probably notice is if someone calls out something to me, they're going on camera. I'm going to go and have a chat to them. Okay? No, thanks, mate. No, thanks, mate. So one of the things that you'll find is that I get called out to a lot on camera. And I'll often go and talk to people. Sometimes I'll get called out, but they don't actually want to talk. They're just calling out. All these arts and crafts stalls still exist here, much as they always did. But what I noticed when I was here last time, there was a lot of destruction. Yeah, look at this, a lot of construction and destruction. A lot of the old hotels that used to be here and a lot of the old buildings have been torn down. Another case in point, a big vacant block of land there that, you know, never used to be there, but it's there now. I actually have a lot of good memories down here in Poppies. Yeah, some of these little homestays and stuff up these side alleyways, they're still operational. I'm not sure how they're going these days, but I'm sure they're pretty good value for money and, you know, still got that old school vibe to them. Whether you're still the same person as you used to be and enjoys that style of accommodation or not, well, that's another thing, isn't it? Whether you've moved on or not, and that sort of stuff is a really big factor in whether you enjoy a place like Poppies today. It is fair to say, however, that most of the crowd has shifted north to Legian and even further, probably further than Legian, because I think Legian's quite, yeah, quiet compared to Seminyak. You know, Seminyak's much busier than, well, is it busier? I find that the businesses in Seminyak are busier, but actually, even in Seminyak, the roads are fairly quiet. There's not a lot of people walking around. The thing about Poppies is it's still the original. If you want to come and feel the real original Bali tourist vibe, well, it's still here, you know what I mean? It's got that rough and tumble, which we all sort of have loved at least at one point in our lives. There's a big project going on over there. It's just a huge block of land which has been cleared off and new things being built. This is the La Wallon Hotel. Looks all right. Looks like it's been around a while. They've got a big property down the back with some gardens as well and a bar down the front. It has an old Kuta feel to it, really. And if you love that old Kuta feel, it's probably perfect. I remember once I stayed at a place called, I think it's called the Bakung Sari Hotel. And I stayed there in probably 2004. And when I stayed there, it felt pretty old school at that time, but there was something about that feel that had a real character to it, you know? And it's the character that we really want. Oh my God. Now those guys are foreigners and they're getting like within millimetres of my leg as they come past. It's always the foreigners you've got to watch out for when you're trying to dodge motorbikes. Okay, selamat datang di proyek Hotel Kuta Bali. So it looks like there's a project going in called the Hotel Kuta Bali. And part of the project is being operated by a mob called Tata, which is an Indian company, I think. Don't they make cars? That's the old bamboo corner. A classic old warung that's been there for such a long time. Cheap local food and you know, basic Western food as well. Beers. Yeah, that is just a classic place to go when you're in Poppies for sure. Absolutely sure. I remember this place up here, TJ's California and Mexican. I remember that a very, very long time ago. That's no longer open, but it seems the sign is still there. But I remember that as being quite a good little place, that one. And wasn't there a place called Alley Cats around here somewhere as well? That was down one of these little alleyways. That was pretty popular back in the day as well. That's the original Poppies Hotel. I might just have a look. Look at that. There is a little oasis here on Poppies. A little sign here telling you that Poppies Hotel opened here in 1980, 6 years after the 4 original Poppies cottages were opened on Poppies 2. I didn't know that. I didn't realise there was an original Poppies on Poppies 2, and then this one came 6 years after. The first time I came to Kuta, the first time to Bali actually, I think the first time to Bali I came straight to Kuta, which is what a lot of people used to do back in the day. And I went straight to that place up there on the left, which is the Poppies restaurant. Now, it says since 1973. I don't know if the Poppies restaurant has been since 1973, but if it has, there it is there. I don't know if, here we go. Poppies restaurant opened here in 1973, and this used to be a nameless walking track. I do remember that place very fondly, very fondly. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful place. Yeah. Sadly, very, very quiet, very quiet. The thing about that place, it probably still has a lot of the character that you remember from the old days, and it's probably still very good. It's just not what people want these days for some reason. I'm not sure why. And as quick as that, we're almost at the end of Poppies. I can see Jalan Legian just there up ahead. I remember through this little section here, there used to be little stalls. It used to be covered, and there used to be people selling left and right. And of course, the motorbikes still drove up and down this little section. You've got to watch your back here as someone comes up behind me. But a lot of that trading now has fallen by the wayside. There's probably just not enough money in selling little knickknacks. So we are now on Jalan Legian, coming up to Jalan Pantai Kuta, which is the road that goes down to the beach. So I'm going to turn right down here. If you turn left, you get down to Kuta Square. You get down to Bimo Corner down that way. Turning right, you do get to Kuta Square, which is where I'm heading now. So this little road called Jalan Pantai Kuta goes to the beach and then turns right, and still called Jalan Pantai Kuta when it gets to the beach, when it goes sort of north-south. But I'm going east-west at the moment. I'm going to turn left before I actually get to the beach. Now this whole section here used to be filled with people shopping, getting massages, getting their nails done, hair braided, but that doesn't seem to be the case now. Maday's Warung. Absolutely, hello. Absolutely empty since 1969, and they've only got one table of customers in there. As I'm walking around, I do chat to quite a few people who I can't really put on the channel for one reason or another. I just had a good conversation with a couple of guys at a mini market back there about their lives and so forth, and they were really nice, and they sort of wanted to be on camera, but they said, look, if I get on camera with my uniform on, it just could cause problems. And I said, yeah, no problem. So I had a chat with them anyway. It's not like I go, oh, if you're not going to be on my channel, I'm not going to talk to you. It wasn't like that. But it's interesting because I do chat to a lot of people around the place, and not everyone wants to be on camera. So the people that you see on camera are the ones that want to be. Walking down here brings back so many memories of people tugging at your shirt saying, one more, and you want a massage, and you come over here and one more please, and all that sort of stuff. That harassment that you get here, I mean, I use the word harassment, I don't mean it like literal harassment. I mean, it is, it's a little bit of harassment, but it's all in good faith, you know. It just brings back so many memories because you don't really get that at all in Sanur. You probably get one or two people do that every now and then, like very rarely. But here, it's everywhere, and it's, yeah, just brings back all those memories from all those years ago. It's really interesting that it still goes on like that. And because you would never imagine that sort of stuff would keep a place afloat. Like, people get sick of it, don't they? Maybe that's why Kuta's quiet these days, I don't know. What's interesting is there must be about 100 massage parlours down this road, and none of them have got any customers. Like, it must be a hard gig to be a massage person along this road because there's just so few customers around and so many competitors. Just coming up to Kuta Square now. You'll probably remember this. If you turn left here, you get down. I think there was a KFC here. Oh, there still is a KFC. There it is. I don't know how much this road's changed, but looks pretty similar. Hello. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. This looks pretty similar, doesn't it, to what it used to look? I remember there was a place down here. I don't know if it got bombed or not, but I think it was called Dalung. Little cafe down here. Was that the one that got bombed? I'm not quite sure. I used to go down to that one pre the 2005 bombings in this area because I used to get a nasi goreng down there that I just really loved. It was, I don't know, a cafe back in the day. It was not really sort of like a modern cafe or anything like that. Just a place where you could go and get, you know, a few local dishes, a few Western dishes, maybe get a coffee, but just not modern at all. And I just liked it. It sort of brought me back to Bali every time I'd come here, have my nasi goreng, and I felt I've arrived. Here it is, Dulang. Dulang. I thought it was Dalung, but Dulang. That's the place. That's the place I used to go. Interesting. I know there was a bombing down here, but I'm not exactly sure where it was. Around here somewhere, wasn't there that big shopping mall, wasn't it? Or department store? I think it might have been Ramayana was down here. Pretty sure it was Ramayana. That was there. I mean, it was old even when I first started coming here. So I don't know how old it really was, but it just felt so old. Oh, one of those party buses over there. Bali beer bus. There you go. They just drive around and have a big table and music going and you get all the beers going. I mean, it's that sort of place, isn't it? Always has been, has Kuta. There's a restaurant over there, it's called Gubba. And that is a word that you don't see a lot. What's this? Well, this is the Kuta art market. Oh my God. This is not the way I remember the Kuta art market. Oh, wasn't this just little shacks? It's now like a building. Oh my God. How long has it been a building for? Don't tell me it's been like this for 20 years. I think it may have been like this for a long time. I just remember the Kuta art market was just like shacks or tents. No, it was shacks, wasn't it? All along here. But I'm not going to bother going in there because it's not really what I remember. I'll just go and have a look, show you what it's like these days. But let's have a look inside. Yeah, a big building. Oh, I guess multi. There we go. So you've got different floors with different things on it. So if you want clothing and bags, go to floor 3. Menarik. Ah, interesting.
Hello.
Hello.
Have a look.
And lots of sarongs and clothing. Yeah, I mean, it's nice and polished, isn't it? It doesn't really have the character of the place I remember, which is a little bit unfortunate, really, isn't it? Yeah, again, that's because you remember a place as it was, and then you always want it to be like that, and that's not necessarily always going to be the case, is it? I mean, if you go down that way a bit further, you get down to the beach. That's a nice statue over there, isn't it? Look at that one. I haven't been down here for such a long time. I've got a funny feeling this is old. I might ask someone. Just spoke to a guy who reckons this was built just after COVID, so it's not 20 years old. Maybe it looks a little bit older than it really is. I really need to get out more. My memory of this area was there's a place called Bubba Gumps, wasn't it? That was here. I think they've even got one now at the Icon Mall in Sanur, but it was along here somewhere. I remember it. I never went to it, but I remember people used to go, oh, it's so good, that place. It's like Hog's Breath Cafe or whatever it was. I've actually been quite lucky with the weather today. We've had some bad weather during this wet season already, and today it hasn't rained much at all. I think it might have rained overnight a little bit. We had a little downpour during the day, but other than that, like, it's been pretty good, to be honest. A few little bars and restaurants like this around the place. So I think these have been here for a while. If you don't know where I am, I'm heading down that road that goes to the Discovery Mall, Waterbomb, Tulban area, down towards the airport. So I'm heading south at the moment. Kuta Paradiso, remember that? That was a big name back in the day, wasn't it? People used to love that place. It still looks to be okay from the outside. I mean, no idea what the rooms are like. Needless to say, it's an older hotel, so it would have needed to be renovated a little bit over the years. Looks okay though. I mean, these places look mildly appealing to me, these sports bars. Massive big sports bar. If you're into your sports and there's a particular event on that you want to go and watch, to sit down at a place like this, have a few snacks and a few beers, it's quite appealing, really. This is Jalan Kartika Plaza, isn't it? Like, some of those buildings look totally unfamiliar. All along the left here, that's quite unfamiliar to me. On the right, I'm finding things to be a little bit more familiar. Hotel Karthi, I don't remember that name, but it's an old one. Yeah, this is Jalan Kartika Plaza. There we go, I just saw a sign with it on. I mean, some of these art markets definitely seem quite familiar. What's that say, Wake Bali? I think so. I mean, something like that looks quite appealing as far as art markets go. They've got everything there, all, it seems to be fixed price. That's sort of quite appealing. It's a little bit more approachable these days than going to somewhere they were going to haggle over the price. So I've just entered a place that they're calling the Beach Restoration Project. I asked the guy whether I could come in. He said, yeah, sure. Like, the security guard out the front and people guarding the place. It looks like you're not supposed to be allowed in here, but he said I was allowed in. It's a nice block of land. Look at it. Beautiful, beautiful block of land. And I guess they're using it for access to where they're doing those beach restoration works, because as we know, and you would have seen in my video maybe a week ago now, there is massive erosion down at the beach here in Kuta, and I guess this is part of the project to fix it. Oh, they've got a weighbridge here, which doesn't look to be in use, but that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a weighbridge here in Indonesia. They don't usually care about that sort of stuff. I wonder what that's for. Maybe they're trying to preserve the roads here. Just came across some really important signs up here. This one here is an overview of what the project is, and it's basically saying that since the airport was created, there's been serious erosion since the 1960s, and it tells you where they're doing sand nourishment all along the beach there. It tells you what it's going to look like before and after, and then it tells you where the money's coming from. It's a joint project between the Indonesian government and the Japanese government, and the contract was started on the 28th of August, and the length of the project is a couple of years. So that's basically it. I mean, they basically want that beach, which is now flooding like that, to become a little bit more extended out. And the way they're going to do it is by building these big breakwaters out in the ocean, so it stops the sand being eroded. They're hoping the sand will come back. Well, I mean, that's what you want. It's a big project, and the Japanese, like, they know how to build walls. If there's one thing they know how to build, it's just enormous walls in the middle of the ocean. When I was walking in Japan, the number of walls they've built post 2011 tsunami is incredible. Before that, they already had built huge amounts of walls, but they've even built bigger ones now. So they know what they're doing, do the Japanese. So let's hope we can get some progress here. Let's have a look at what's going on here. So there's a nice restaurant there called the Boardwalk Restaurant and Bar, and then you come along the boardwalk here, which I think is the one that goes down to Discovery Mall. I will go down there after I show you this. So the beach in front is all washed away. Now they're putting all these walls up. You've got some rock walls out there, which seem to be funneling the waves in at a 45-degree angle into this area. And I guess what the thought is that it's going to start building up the sand naturally in some of these areas. But when I look down the beach here, all the way down, even when I think back maybe sort of 6-7 years ago, that water is so much further inland than it used to be. It's absolutely incredible. Bit of a bad storm out there as well. Am I going to get done here? But honestly, when I look down towards, I sort of showed you that section just there not long ago. When I look down there, that is so eroded, I can't believe it. I mean, that was at least 20-30 metres width of beach last time I was down viewing it from this angle. It's crazy. So right at this moment, this part of the beach is just awful, awful. There's a bit of construction going on there. But if they can get that all under control, this could actually turn out to be very, very good. Very good. Of course, when you're dealing with nature, you're always going to need to be pushing, because it's always going to come back and bite you in some way. This is a forever thing. You're never going to have to stop working on this. Oh, the Discovery Mall's just there. I didn't realise I was so close to that. You're just going to have to work on it all the time, because you've already disturbed it so much that you know, there are long-term effects that are going to manifest as time goes on that you're always going to have to battle. But at least this is a good start. I've actually got no interest in going to that mall, but I do have an interest in coming down to this place, which is the Discovery Kartika Plaza. Now, I've stayed there before. I actually, I think it's probably 7 years ago. I think it was 7, it could even be 8 years ago. I actually stayed there, and I remember I came down and I filmed a little bit down on this beach. I don't think I've got the footage still, but I filmed down here because I went down to the beach and filmed down in that direction. Now, from here, there was quite a wide beach all the way along there, right away along. And now there's no beach. There is no beach here anymore. I guess the question it has me asking is, how did it disappear so quickly? We know these things have been going on for so long, this erosion, but why did it just sort of happen overnight? Was it like one big storm just wiped it all out? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. People have said, so that sign back there said it was because of the airport. The airport in the 1960s made this happen. But other people have said in the comments in the past that there were other works further up that have done this. Like, some people said a runway extension, but I don't think there has been an extension of the actual runway. I know there was some works up at the airport of sort of expanding the parking areas and that sort of stuff. Maybe that contributed. But I don't know, it just seems just so odd that there was such a dramatic change all of a sudden after all these years. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of, you could sort of see most things coming year by year, things get worse and worse and worse. But this one didn't happen like that. It just happened like bang. Like, blink your eyes and there's no beach anymore. That's weird. Like, what happened here before they built the rock wall? Was all this eroded, was it? Don't know. It's a damn shame, honestly. That said, this is actually a really nice beach walk. Even though there is no beach there anymore, if they got rid of that awful green netting there and allowed you to go in and swim there, which then you're not allowed to because it says it's prohibited that you go into the water there. See that there? Prohibited from passing into the project area. If you could go in there, oh, it's a holy space. Well, that's weird. But if you could go in there, it could be a decent swimming area, especially when all those rock walls are built. It might be quite calm and nice to swim in there. I mean, like, you'd want to be able to swim properly, like not just sort of like try and touch the bottom and then go, oh, I can't touch, and then you're gone. But it does look decent enough. It's almost lake-like. You know, those walls seem to be breaking some of the waves, so it's not really like a surf beach. And that looks quite pleasant. There is one negative that I can see, and somehow, because of all of that, it seems to be collecting a lot of rubbish in the water. So what I can see is a huge line of debris and rubbish in there, which I don't know why that's sort of collecting in that one area, but that's going to need to be sorted out as well. But I mean, that's part of a bigger issue, isn't it, really? But anyway, getting back to the story, this is a really nice beachfront path. Hey, someone filming, hello! Yeah, nice beachfront path. I can imagine myself, if I was staying down here, I'd go for a run down here, and I can see a beach up here. Is this Pantai Jerman? I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to Pantai Jerman. But I think I'm going to try and check it out. Oh, wow. That is amazing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Bikin sendiri, Pak?
Ya.
Biasanya berapa ini? Biasanya starting price.
Ya, lihat anunya dulu berapa huruf.
Menarik juga ya, Pak. Oh, bagus banget ini. Bikin sendiri, Pak?
Ya.
Bikin di sini?
Di rumah.
Di rumah. Bapak asli dari mana?
Dari Madura.
Oh, Madura. Oh, udah lama di sini?
Udah.
Berapa tahun?
Udah 25 tahun.
25 tahun, lama banget, Pak. Sering pulang nggak?
Sering, 1 tahun sekali.
Oh ya, naik apa kalau pulang?
Oh, naik kapal feri.
Oh, ada dari sini?
Ya.
Dari mana? Dari
sini naik mobil.
Ya, ke?
Nanti ke sana.
Ya.
Gilimanuk.
Ya.
Feri.
Dari Gilimanuk sampai Madura ada?
Ya. Dulu dari Jawa dulu, habis Jawa baru
Ya.
ke Madura.
Oh, lama sekali, Pak. Oke, Bapak, terima kasih. Ya.
Ya.
Have a good day. See ya. See ya, bye. The lady did one of these ones. No, thank you. So the guy tells me this is Pantai Jerman here. It starts here and it goes around the point, and then that's all Pantai Jerman as well. Nice beach, bit of rubbish on there. I mean, if someone could clean that up, this is a really beautiful looking beach. It's a nice little beach, that one. I think it's nice. It does have a fairly good reputation, this Pantai Jerman. And I've actually never been here before. I mean, I've been along the main road, but just never been to the beach down here. This is nice, isn't it? That's either a new resort going in or an extension going in, Bintang Bali Resort. It's just such a nice part of the world, and it's so peaceful. I feel like I'm in a different world. I don't feel like I'm in Bali anymore because it's so peaceful. I'm gonna get out onto the beach here because I can see a pipe which looks a little bit unsightly and out of place. Let's find out what that is. Well, that is rather unsightly, but it says, be careful, there is a pipe installed for the sand filling works, and the beach is just filled with rubbish. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. You would not get me swimming in that water knowing there's so much rubbish there. It is just awful, awful. I'm surprised that there aren't people coming down to clean this up from the government. Like, isn't that the government responsibility to clean the beaches? That is just shocking. You look at that, and most of that plastic, I'll show you what it is, and this is really interesting. That there is called aqua glass, yeah? I would say 90% of the rubbish here is that. They are illegal to sell in Bali. They are illegal to sell in Bali right now, and they are still for sale. They were illegal to sell from April last year, and the government said you've got until the end of 2025 to get rid of all your stock. So they didn't want to leave people out in the lurch, you know, that have already had a warehouse full of it. But that's all gone now, and they're still selling them. There's always a lot of contention about where a lot of that rubbish comes from. If you ask a lot of the people down at the beach here, which I've just done, they will say that it's all from Java. This is not a Balinese problem, it's a Java problem, and we need to fix what's going on in Java. My suspicion is that that's not the case, but I don't know. All those aqua glass are used a lot in ceremonies and so forth here. And if you look down in any river in Bali, the rivers are filled and the banks are filled with rubbish. And it would make sense that when there's a big storm, it gets washed out into the rivers and out into the ocean and back here. But maybe it comes from Java as well. I don't know. All I know is that you don't see those aqua glass being used a heap in Java. You do see a bit of them, but just not that much, to be honest. You might see them at someone's house. If you go to their house as a guest, they might give you one of those just to drink as you go and have a chat, or if you go to the local government office, they might give you one, that sort of thing. But I don't see them like I see them here. There is a lot more construction happening around here. That looks like there's something going on there, but it's not like in full swing. It feels like that's happening all the way up and down here, to be honest. It sort of has that, there's some sort of renewal going on here. And maybe the people know that this is going to be a good place in the future, and there's a bit of investment going on here as well. That's what it feels like to me. It feels a little bit like Sanur, to be honest. Nowhere near as sort of busy or what have you, but it's quite nice. Oh, there's a big sign there, Pantai Jerman. Oh, and then the background is a dog. There's a dog arching its back, and I won't say what's going on. Just behind the sign of the Pantai Jerman. To be honest, today's been a bit of an eye-opener. When I see this Pantai Jerman like this, I think it's a beautiful beach. Yeah, there's a bit of rubbish, or a lot of rubbish, and that is a shame, but the natural beauty of the place really speaks for itself. I've enjoyed actually walking down that beachfront path past the Discovery Mall, which I've never done before, strangely enough. I enjoyed looking at Poppies 1 again, which was completely different to what I remember it. And I also enjoyed having a chat to a few people along the way. And I really appreciate you coming along with me for the ride today. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur, the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, and sampai jumpa.